Yay Media Group.
What's up, and welcome back to Spill the Beans podcast.
We're the girls. Yes, Sabin.
Yes, Sabin. Happy Friday. Oh my gosh. I feel like this week I finally feel like ourselves again.
It's funny how we were just talking about this. I feel like it feels better. Last time was a little bit like putting your
Dipping
foot in
our
the
toes.
I'm saying
Putting
every
your
word.
foot in the water.
Yeah, dipping your toes in the water. And right now I'm like, I feel comfortable, confident,
Happy, joyful,
and all of the above.
and all the vibes. Yeah, I feel like this week is a lot lighter already. Last week was so much tension in the room. I felt this is probably why I have bad posture. I felt all the tension in my back.
You know what you need? A massage. Not for me.
I'm like, girl,
You
get
need
into it.
I think you need a massage. Oh, because you got your facial and you said
That released some tension for sure. She did like all the massage right here, my arm. Shout out Doriani. What is it called? I
The
just
facial?
had it. Yeah, her Sirena LLC
Oh, yes.
or Sirena Cosmetics. Or what is it
No,
called?
Sirena _LLC
There
on
you go.
Instagram.
If you want to book a facial, please go. She is amazing,
Yes.
and it just feels so good. Honestly,
Yep, she's so good at what she does.
yeah. Shout out to her queen Doriani. But
How?
sorry,
Before
go
we
ahead.
move on, how is Ozo doing?
Oh, you guys,
Give us an update.
If you guys have been keeping up with me on Snapchat, I've been crying on there. I was like, I don't think I'm ever gonna cry on the internet. Your dog will do it to you. That'll be the one. But yeah, last week I was like, yeah, he went into surgery. He's home recovering. This man, Ozo, his incision opened back up and it got infected and it had dead tissue. So he had to go back into the emergency room. He had to get lo abrieron otra vez, and they made the incision bigger. They had to literally drain everything out. We woke up and found him laying on a puddle of his body fluid. It was so, oh my God.
That's so
It was
scary.
literally so traumatizing. I remember like looking at it. Oh, why am I crying?
Because that's so
I
hard.
remember looking at Ozo laying down and then looking up at Jonathan, and I was like, I don't think he's going to make it.
Oh my God.
And I was just sobbing.
Oh.
So I took him because Jonathan had to go to work. So I literally, it was like, I opened my eyes and I just hear Jonathan's like, I need you to come downstairs. So I'm like, oh shit. Like I already knew something was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I ran downstairs. We assessed the situation. I looked. It literally, every time he would breathe, you could see his stomach go in, and when he would go out, it would just, fluid would come out.
That's so bad.
It was so terrifying. And I literally was like, okay, let's just go. Let's take him. And he's like, okay, well, no, I said, I'm going to take him. You go, because he had to go like do his prep and stuff. And then he's like, what about the kids? I was like, I'll call my dad. So I'm running up the stairs with the phone in my hand, calling my dad. I like, get into the room. I'm trying to get an outfit, trying to brush my teeth. Dad, can you come be with the kids? I have to take Gozo to the emergency room. I'm on my way. Okay. Literally, thank God they live 3 minutes away. Because imagine, like, we were just waiting there.
Imagine it was like me and you had to wait like 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Exactly.
Honestly.
So and yeah, I took him in, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna have to readmit him, hospitalize him. His blood pressure was high. He was in really like a lot of pain. He got an opioid shot, and she's like, yeah, he feels a lot better now. I'm like, yeah, of course, he's rugged up, girl. And they like did blood work, and they're like, he doesn't look like he has an infection inside. It's probably just the incision, which was so good because they didn't have to reopen the intestine. That would have been way too invasive. And yeah, they rehospitalized him. And before you do anything, okay, mind you, you go into the emergency room. Before they even get him checked in, you have to pay $150 up front. And then when they come in, they assess the situation before they do anything else. They're like, well, now it's going to be this and this and this, and I'm going to quote you. They quoted me for $500 for what they had to do then and there, which was run lab work, give him an opioid shot, whatever. I'm already $500 deep after being $6,000 deep. Actually, it was like 7,000. It was like 600, 900, whatever, 6,900 something. And I'm just like looking at all this. It's like, just pay. Come on. Like, we have to get it moving. And obviously, like, if you don't, he's going to die. Like, there's no way he's going to die. He can't make it. So yeah, she goes back after I pay the 500 and does whatever she needs to do, gets him stabilized and really assesses him. And yeah, she comes back. She's like, we have to reopen him and do all of this. And they quoted me at like almost $4,000 for all of that. Because he had to be hospitalized for another 24 hours and, you know, like all the meds. So right now we're literally $11,000 deep into Ozo. In just 2 weeks, it was $11,000. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? But thankfully he's good now. We had a scare again. When was it? So that happened. He came home. That happened on Monday, I think. Sorry, I'm mixed up. It happened one day. He came home the next day. And it happened on Saturday because then it was Sunday and we went to pick him up. He wasn't ready. He had to get more shots. So they called us like 2 hours later. And we come back and literally like that night, because I wish I could show you guys. I'm going to show you a picture right now of what it looked like. But his incision is so long. And truthfully, like to me, I was like, how is he going to recover? Like it seems impossible. I was just laying there with him trying to put him to sleep because it takes him a lot to like lay down. So you have to like really help him. And I was just sobbing, dude. I was like, he's not going to make it. Like I was already thinking the worst, like Chai's going to be so sad. Like we have this picture of them next to their food bowls. I was like, he's never going to come back home to his food bowls. I was just sobbing. But then I was like, no, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And then, yeah, I sobbed for 30 minutes and I'm like, okay, check his incision again. I check his incision. I see 3 of his sutures wider than the rest and a little flesh. And I'm like, yeah, se abrió otra vez. We take a picture, send it to the emergency room. The emergency room's like, you know what? It doesn't look infected, but he should come in for some skin glue. 12:30 a.m. Ahí va Jonathan a llevarlo que le pongan skin glue. Poor guy. And like you literally have to hold him, like lift him up. He's scared. He doesn't want to sit. He's always like stressed. And so yeah, when he came home, and they were back home in like 40 minutes. They give you pills and they give him 1.5 or 2 if you give him 2, it's like the most sedation. Like he will not move. He'll just like give it to him. I don't want him to get up. I don't want him to breathe. I don't want him to do anything. I just want him to freaking
just recover.
Let it heal, dude. Oh my God. It's so stressful because like he can't talk to me. He can't tell me like, hey, it hurts right here. Or like, can I get more, you know? So he was sedated for like 2 days. And today, like he's in such good spirits. His incision is looking a lot better. And I think that we're going up good. Finally.
Thank God. Did they give you a time frame of like when it's gonna heal? Like
2 weeks.
If everything, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Doesn't that seem like impossible?
It seems like never ending because it was like 2 weeks and then it started again. So now it's 3 weeks, you know?
Okay.
And he has to actually go in and get his sutures removed. I'm like, don't remove them, just leave them there.
I know. When is that happening? In 2 weeks?
In 2 weeks. He has to go to his regular vet. But they gave us like a chaleco kind of that you could put all over him so he doesn't get to his cortada. And we're gonna put it on the first day, but then I was like, dude, it's like so fresh that if it's like bleeding, se le pega, and when I take it off, the sutures are coming off with it, so we didn't put it on.
Okay, Nurse Blanca.
I know, girl, and I be giving him his meds all the time, 2 times a day. It's like 5 pills. He's just as stubborn, even more stubborn than a toddler. Imagine your toddler taking a pill. Absolutely not.
So I would never.
I literally fight him, but he's so nice. Like honestly, like I think that's why I was sobbing. I told Jonathan, I was like, he literally survived COVID with us. He was my best friend. Jonathan worked all of COVID because he worked in the trash, so it was like a mandatory job that couldn't be laid off. He was with me 24/7. I was so protective. He was my best friend. He's been so good to our kids. He's been with us every single move. Has always like he's been the perfect dog. Yeah. You know, and I was like, that's what really, really got to me. I was like, he's just we're his life. You know,
he knows nothing else.
Yeah, we're his. And I feel like, we had kids and then he wasn't like the center of attention anymore. And like, he's still so nice and kind, not to us, but to our kids too. And he's just such a good dog.
He's a good boy.
So I was like, no, we're going to get through this. And if we don't, like genuinely, I would be so heartbroken and devastated if he didn't recover. So anyway,
but don't put that out in the air. He's recovering.
He's looking good.
He's okay.
He's good. Today he like got up and walked by himself. And he like when people were coming in, like if my mom would get there or Jonathan, he would not get up. Like he would just be there. And today like he finally gets up and wags his tail and wants to drink water and wants to eat.
Oh, that's good.
He still doesn't want to take his meds, so I have to fight him. I have to fight him there, but
that's normal.
Yeah,
normal behavior.
We're looking good, okay?
Oh, yeah.
I just hope that it stays like that.
No, and it's so hard to have to wait for healing. And
Yeah, I was literally looking up what are the chances, like what's the percentage of him actually recovering and making a full recovery. And Google was like 95%. I was like, I know, fregamos.
Those are really good odds.
And they're like, he's strong. Like, dogs are strong. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm not.
I'm not okay.
Like, do you see me? I just remember the ladies are being like, oh my God, this girl. Because to them, it's like, it's an emergency room. You know, they're like, okay, in and out, whatever, we have to do this. And for me, I'm like, girl, that's my dog and my money, baby. Because on top of all the emotional stress, and then they're like, oh, 6,000 here, 5,000 over there. Do this, do that. Girl, let me catch my breath.
I know, and it's crazy that it's kind of like como in Mexico, you know, they don't do procedures on you unless you give them the money up front. It's like that. I'm like, that's stressful. Like,
they come in with a quote and they're like,
yes or no?
Can you do it?
You got it or no?
And they're like, you have to sign a CPR, like a do not resuscitate, blah blah blah. I'm like, girl, why do I have this much pressure? I mean, I don't want to make these choices. I'm scared.
And you have no time. Like, you have to do it. It's like
literally
now, yes or no?
Yeah.
Well, sorry, that's
guys.
really stressful. Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah,
that's
it was really hard. It's been really hard, but I feel like today I feel like that's why I feel lighter too. Like he's looking a lot better. He's taking his meds and his incision looks so much better than it did the first time around. Good. There's like 30 fucking sutures just going.
You said it's from like his chest to like his groin.
Yeah,
that's his whole that's the whole thing.
A whole abdomen, and he's like shaved all the way over here. So and then all his arms are shaved because of like IVs and stuff. Oh. So he looks so silly.
Oh my
poor boy.
So okay, honestly, he's recovering. He's doing good.
I think I said that last time. I was like, lo que más me puede es que you can't be like, por eso no se comen los elotes. Because he will, if he sees an elote, he's going to eat it again.
Oh my gosh. And if anything, now you guys are the ones that are going to have to be more careful.
No.
Like, no.
Literally.
When there's elotes around, just put a, ¿cómo se dice?
No, we're not buying elotes anymore.
No more
ever again. No more food in the house.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we're probably going to have to crate them too. Like crate, honestly, the crate has come in clutch. Yeah, Chai has to be in there 24/7 too, because we don't want her to lick it or to rile him up. So I'm like, wait, crates are clutch. Honestly, we never crate train our dogs, but I think that was a mistake on our end for sure. I think the crates are the like safe space. Yeah. So, anyways, y'all,
you're like, that's my life.
That's my life. How are you? How's Luis?
Well, Luis is good. Today's Tuesday. He went back to work yesterday, Monday, except for I was telling Blanca that it was the most stressful experience. And it's stressful kind of in a good way because thankfully, like, my husband is bien movido. Like, he is like, I guess I can snap to the
period queen ASMR.
Just kidding. Bien movido. He's bien movido, and so he just cannot stay still. So like the first day, obviously, like he was in pain, like he could not get up. He needed help getting up and down, and so ahí lo tenía yo nomás en el couch. I was doing everything, and if he needed something, I should have just given him a little bell. Ring, ring. ¿Me ayudas? But then after like day 2, he felt better. Day 3 was a nightmare because he felt, after 2 days of like kind of sitting, and he wasn't even sitting the whole time because he was supposed to get up and down too. But after 2 days of sitting, he se desesperó and he started to want to do things. Like I remember there was a few dishes and he washed the dishes and I freaked out. I was like, come on. Because he's still not able to, he's not supposed to lift more than 15 pounds. And so it's really hard for him to be like, okay, so what do I do? And if he's home, he's doing something. Like he's the type that's like, if he sees a mess, he's going to clean it up, or if he'll find something to do, which I love that, but not when he has to sit the fuck down, you know? So that's been a little stressful. And then I was telling Blanca too that Penny's been in her not listening to me era, which it has begun, and I'm so not excited about it. Just basically like, I think she also felt the pressure of like, why is dad home all these days and why are you taking care of him? Like, you never take care of him. I think she also felt like it was off. So she felt weird, and she was also in a little bit of a mood, and also her muelas are coming out, you know, just there's always something. Poor girl. But she wasn't listening to me. Luis wasn't listening to me. And I literally was going to lose my mind because I'm like, both of you need to listen, please. Like, stop trying to lift things. Stop trying to do things around the house. Just sit down. And then Penny, I'm like, please, Penny, you too. Sit down. Both of you just sit down.
Literally, can we just all sit down?
Let's just all sit down. Yeah. And I got really, really mad at him on Friday because at that point he got surgery Tuesday at like 6 a.m. By Friday, he made me take him to work. I was gonna secuestrarlo, but I was like, you know what? Let this man do his thing, whatever. He was going to try to drive to work, and I was like, no, fine, go to work a few hours, but I'm going to take you. So I drove him to work, dropped him off like a little kindergartner. And we get there, and his coworker was like, what are you doing here? Get out of here. Like, go home. Because we're all like, hello, like, you don't have to be here. He was there by choice.
I know.
So I dropped him off, and he's like, okay, I'll let you know what time I'm going to pick you up. And my cousin had a graduation where he works anyway, like around that area. So I was like, I'll be around the area. I was like, just let me know. And he had texted me. He's like, I'm going to get off at 3. But then my cousin's graduation was over, and we were going to go eat. I was like, and it was already 2. So then I called him. I was like, hey, we're going to go eat. Do you want me to go pick you up now or after? And then he was like, well, where are you going to eat? And I told him Inca in Fort Collins. And he was like, oh, come pick me up. He's like, I'm ready. Let's go. I'm like, ahora sí, ¿verdad? But yeah, that was it. He's doing good now, and he's still not listening to me about like not picking things up. And I just hope he's okay. Like I know he thinks he's okay because he's like, it looks fine. They're little what are they called, like cortaditas? Mm-hmm. It's very minimal, but still we can't see the inside. Obviously, if they're telling you don't do this, this, and this, and rest and this and that, it's for a reason. But hazlo entender. So,
my goodness.
Yeah, he's doing good. Gracias a Dios. He's healing.
Well, thankfully that he's feeling good and like ready to do it. But obviously, you wish you could rest more.
Yeah, I wish I could keep him in my pocket.
Don't move, please.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I feel it's so crazy how life changes so fast. And then I think even with those, I was like, oh, he's fine. Like, okay, he went to get his surgery and he's back, whatever. And no, like it just kept raining and raining and rain, and then it doesn't help that it's cloudy and raining all the time and cold, and like so now I'm sad, I'm depressed, my mood is down because it's so bad outside. And mind you still have to take care of 2 toddlers, you still have to be a mom, you still have shit to turn into your manager. I literally texted my managers today. I'm like, I'm back, like, hello, sorry for being in my MIA. I had like 10 messages, just long ass messages. I'm like, hey, how's it going? But they're so nice and understanding, thankfully, too. But
life just be life. And
Jesus, girl, I'm like, not the beginning of summer, please.
And it doesn't look like summer.
Exactly, which is good. Like, that makes me really happy. And I just hope that by the time summer does come around, like, Ozo's up and running and being his crazy self. Yeah. Because obviously, like, dogs want to be doing crazy shit all the time. But yeah. That's our life. Yeah. Just want to give you a little update because things got a little crazy this week. But
yeah. And now on to the next.
And now on to our topic.
Our topics. I guess we could have, what's it called? Technically speaking, we could have done this. This would have been a good one for Mother's Day, but this is a little bit of a retrasado Mother's Day episode.
And we saw it in the comments too. A lot of people were saying like, you should do delivery stories. We're like, absolutely, baby.
Yeah. Because I guess have you talked about your delivery story on the podcast?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we have together actually. Mm-hmm. But I think it's very, very important to talk about delivery stories. I think it's even like as moms we connect in so many ways. But even the other day I was getting my Brazilian wax, and the whole time me and the girl, my waxer, that's all we were talking about, our labor and delivery, and they were so similar but also so different. And I feel like that's how it is with everyone. Like we all connect in that way, but even then, every single person has a unique experience.
Exactly.
And
it's
I think that's
never
beautiful.
The same. Me too. I think that's why there's a huge conversation online about when you're going to be a first-time mom, have no expectations. Like, don't try to compare yourself to other moms. And even like when having a birth plan, just make sure that it's still like open-minded enough where it's not going to totally affect you if it doesn't go exactly as you wanted it to.
Yeah.
Because even me, having 2 kids 2 years apart, my labor and delivery I start sobbing. Sorry, I had a burp. My labor and delivery stories were completely different. And I thought, obviously, going into Belen's, I was like, easy peasy, she's gonna be out. I went in at 8:30, she's gonna be out at 10:30, and we're gonna go home. Didn't happen like that, baby. So today we're here to talk about not only our crazy experiences, but yours as well, because you guys sent them in on Instagram, and we're so excited to read them.
There's nothing that will keep me more entertained than listening to moms talk about their labor and delivery stories.
Exactly.
It's just, even when I wasn't a mom, like I always wanted to hear like, how did it go? It's so interesting, but also as a mom, you just feel so, I already said connected, but there's more than that. More, what would you say? Like, I don't know, just you have so much empathy for them.
Yeah. And understanding. Like sometimes you you want to connect with someone, but you can't really understand what they're going through. And with moms, it's like, no, I know exactly what you went through, even though we didn't have the same experience.
Exactly. Do you want to start off with yours?
You can start. I want to hear your crazy whatever happened.
Okay, so where do I start? So I hit 40 weeks and I went to the, ¿cómo se dice el doctor? El OBGYN. And I got checked and I think I was already 1 centimeter dilated. So to me, I was like, oh, like actually this was at 39 weeks. 39 weeks I went in and I was 1 centimeter dilated or half a centimeter. I can't really remember. It's a blur. And then I got checked and I was like, oh, like I'm going to go into labor quick. Penny's due date was December 25th, so Christmas Day. So I really would, like in my head, I was like, I'm going to have her before. There's no way I'm going to have her on Christmas. Like she's going to be here before Christmas and we're going to have her for Christmas. Like that was just me in my head, which I shouldn't have done that. Like I did that to myself, you know, and it's just, I heard so much, like, I don't know. I was like, I'm not going to be the one who goes after 40 weeks, like whatever. Anyway, again, I went in for 40 weeks and I think I was 1 centimeter dilated. So I was like, de aquí soy, like, vámonos, I'm about to give birth. And then a few days passed and my doctor ended up calling me and he's like, I think we're going to have to schedule an induction. And I think at that point I would have been 42 weeks or almost 42 weeks, which is crazy. Like that's a long time to carry a child. He called me to schedule an induction and I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. Actually, I think the day I went into labor, he called me to schedule the induction. And I had already heard that when your labor is induced, it's so much harder. I just hear stories about how it's so much more painful. So I was nervous about it, but I was like, we got to get this girl out, like whatever. And then later on that day, I was just at home, you know, doing whatever I did, which I'm like, what did I do when I didn't have children, like my child? What did I do? I remember it was pretty early. I think it was like mediodía. Let's just say it was like 12. Yes, pretty early. I got up pretty early.
Me? But that was early for me too, girl, back then.
And at that point, like, I couldn't sleep anyway, so I was just trying to sleep in. Like, normal for me was like 9 to 10. So I remember I had taken a shower and I was just eating yogurt and something else, just like whatever. And then I started getting a little bit of contractions. I remember, what is the app you told me to get?
A contraction timer.
So it's pretty to the point. I had downloaded that app and I think I actually asked you that day, no? Because I think I was feeling the contractions and I think I texted you. I was like, hey, what's that app? So then I started timing them and they were kind of close together, but they were just like, I felt them a little bit. So then I was like, oh, okay, I think I'm going to go, like, if I go into labor, let me go get ready. So I remember I went to my beauty room and I started kind of getting ready. I did my makeup, actually. Did I? I think I started doing my makeup, yeah. And then I felt this, like, I don't know, like, I felt dripping coming out from down there. And, you know, sometimes, like, when you're pregnant, things just be happening and you don't know.
So you're like, that's normal.
Yeah. So at first I was like, oh, maybe I'm, like, having discharge. But then it was like a lot, like it started feeling uncomfortable to the point where I thought, oh, I'm TMI. I thought I shit my pants because I was like, I don't know where this is coming from, but I just know it's like dripping. So then I remember I went into the bathroom and at this point I had gone to the bathroom like 3 times and I was like, this isn't normal. But then I looked at like, did I put a pad on or not? I don't remember, but I looked at my pad or my underwear and it was like green. I'm so sorry if you're grossed out by bodily fluid descriptions, please just skip this part real quick. It was like kind of slimy, but not as slimy as discharge, but it was kind of green and I was like, this is weird. But then I was like, wait, is my water breaking? Because it was like leaking, but it wasn't like a gush. So I decided to call the nurse at the doctor I go to and she told me to describe it. And then she's like, yeah, I think your water broke. She told me to go to the emergency room first of all. And I was like, oh no, I got really scared because earlier that month, I think. Yeah. Earlier that month, I had seen one of the Maria twins. She had just had her youngest son and I saw her vlog and her son pooped inside of her. And she was like describing it and she ended up having to have a C-section, no? I just remember she had like kind of a traumatic birth. Yeah. And I remember I saw and I'm like, wait, I think she pooped inside of me because I Googled it. because the nurse didn't tell me, but I Googled it and I'm like, oh, what does it look like when your water breaks and your child poops inside of you? And then it described it and I was like, oh yeah, that's it. And then she had told me to go to the emergency room. So then I got really nervous. So I remember calling Luis, he was at work, and I was like, hey, like, it's time, you need to head over. But I was like, you need to like hurry up because the nurse told me to go to the ER. And he was like, okay. So then he got back, and then the nurse calls me again, and this girl was like, hey, so she's like, first of all, you don't need to head to the emergency room. I don't know why I said that. She's like, go to the labor and delivery. Bruh. And second of all, I accidentally called your mom because she's on your file, so now your mom knows you're going into labor. I wasn't going to tell her yet. I wasn't going to tell them until like I knew I was like actively in labor. So that pissed me off, and I was like, okay, whatever. So fast forward, we get to the emergency room, and they admitted me, and then they're like, okay, we're going to check you just to make sure your water broke. So then I like open my legs, and as soon as they're going to like, I still have the little blanket on or the cover on or whatever. I still have it on. They're about to check me, and my water gushes. Like, I was like, I don't think you need to check anymore. It's like, I know it completely. Like, I am completely.
You felt it?
And then they went up, and they're like, yeah. They put it back down. They're like, yeah, I did break. So yeah, then they admitted me. At this point, I got to the hospital, I think it was like around 2 to 3. And so then we're just, waiting it out in a room. And it's so crazy. Like, tell me if you like feel the same way when I walked into that room. And then I don't know why I was not expecting like the little, ¿cómo se dice? Not the incubator, the bed, the baby bed to be in there. I walked in and I was like, oh, like I know I'm in labor, but it just doesn't feel real until it's happening.
Exactly.
So then I walked in and I saw that, and I got really nervous. I wasn't nervous at all until I saw that. And then after a few hours, okay, so they checked me how dilated I was, and I was about 2 centimeters. And then hours would go by, and I was still 2 centimeters. And at this point, I wasn't really feeling contractions. Like I was, but not that bad. Like I barely felt them. I'm like, I've had cramps worse than this. Literally. They had a nurse come in and tell me, like, give me options, because she's like, you're not dilating, so we're gonna try all these options. They were gonna try to put the balloon in me and all these things, which I've heard is crazy and hard and painful. So then the doctor comes in and he starts telling me, he's like, so are you feeling her move around? And I was like, well, I don't really feel anything right now. I'm like, I just kind of feel contractions. So basically he broke it down for me. He's like, well, her oxygen and her heartbeat are going down. They're like, do you feel her moving? And I was like, well, kind of, but now that you tell me, like, I guess I didn't notice if I felt her moving or not. So he's like, okay, we're just going to check to see how dilated you were. Homeboy puts his whole forearm inside of me and starts moving Penny, like tapping her, because he was trying to see, like, basically if she was alive. So I remember he was literally like moving her. He takes his arm out, and as soon as he takes his arm out, he's like, yeah, we're going to do a C-section. As soon as he said that, I don't know why, todo el sentimiento se me vino, and I started crying like hard. And he was like, yeah, she's not moving, and her heart rate and her oxygen level are going down. And he's like, I just don't want this to turn into an emergency. He's like, we're going to have a C-section. And then Luis had just walked in. He went to go get food. He had just walked in. And he's like, okay. Because we were there for a while and like nothing was happening, and then he walks in and they're like checking me, and he was like, okay. So then he goes and gets, it wasn't an emergency C-section, but it was fast. Like as soon as he said it, he's like, let's get changed and go. So that was it. Like I didn't have time to think about anything, process anything. I was just like, okay, let's go. And yeah, we went and we had the C-section, which a C-section is scary. Like, I don't know why in my head, I didn't have a birth plan, but I never thought like, I was like, oh, I'm not going to have a C-section. Like, I don't know why that crossed my head. I thought I was like, ¿cómo se dice? Like immune to that. Like I thought I couldn't get it. I don't know. And then I remember in the C-section, it's so weird because you can't feel anything but pressure. But I remember for some reason I was feeling pain in my shoulder, like really, really bad pain. And I was telling the anesthesiologist, and he was like, yeah, he's like, I'm so sorry. He's like, that can happen. And it's because they fill you up with gas, and sometimes the gas goes up and like it's trapped in your shoulder. Oh, it's very common. They actually told Luis that too for his appendicitis. They were like, afterwards, if you have pain, he's like, they were like, there's nothing you can do. Like even Tylenol is not going to help. Like it's you got to walk around to get it out, basically, to get the gas out. God. But it was so painful. Like nothing that was going on down here was affecting me, but my shoulder was like, I could not, like, it was very, very painful. And then I remember I was sitting there getting sliced open, and then I was like looking at Luis, and he looked pale and clammy, like he was scared. And I just remember I was like, "Are you okay? Like, are you okay?" I'm like, "Here, give me your hand. Like, are you okay?"
Not you being sliced open and trying to.
Exactly. And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm okay. Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I'm good. Whatever." And I remember, like I said, all I could feel was pressure. But for some reason, I knew as soon as they took her out, I just like felt it. As soon as they like took her out, I'm like, that was her, huh? He was like, yeah. And as soon as they said that, they're like, oh, like here's the baby, da 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 da. And they were really worried. There was a lot of doctors, a lot of nurses, just because she had pooped inside. Mm-hmm. So they were just worried about infection for her, infection for me. But gracias a Dios salió bien. They cleaned her up and cleaned me up, sutured me up, whatever. For the first 2 hours, we went into a recovery room, and I could not hold Penny. It makes me so sad. Like, Luis was with her the entire time, just taking care of her for the first 2 hours, because first of all, I still had that shoulder pain. Second of all, they ended up putting 2 IVs in my different arms. I got 2 different IVs. One of my IVs was poking me so bad, and they couldn't get anything out of there, so they just left it in there instead of taking it out, and I couldn't move my arm. So this arm was like, the needle was poking me and it hurt, and this arm was full of gas. So I just felt really scared to hold Penny. I'm like, I just feel, and I was really shaky after surgery. I just had like nerves, I think it was. Yeah. So I was just like shaky, and I kept saying, it's cold, it's cold. It's like, they were like, yeah, you're probably cold, but you're also probably just nervous, you know?
Oh my gosh.
So I held her for a little bit, and that was it. I'm like, that was it. Afterwards, we got into the room. It was like 11 p.m. And this is kind of a important part of the story, because I had told my mom and my sister, like, I didn't want anyone in the room with me, just me and my husband. And I don't regret my decision, because I feel like it was, to me, that's what I wanted. It was peaceful. I just wanted it to be about us and my little family. And I still love that. But my parents ended up going to the hospital while I was there. And so they were updated and kept updated. And I remember I was in the recovery room, and, you know, you can't visit anybody when they're in the recovery room. And my mom was like, okay, well, are we going to get to see you guys today? I'm like, lady, it is 11 p.m. Like, go home and come back tomorrow. And I feel really, really bad, because I'm like, this is my experience, but I'm like, it's also my mom's first baby, having a baby, you know. I'm sure she wanted to be there, but also I'm like, I also just wanted this for myself, you know. At this moment, it was about me and the baby.
Yeah.
Maybe if I have a next one, she might be there, she might not.
And that's valid, whatever you choose to do.
Yeah. But yeah, that was it. It was just really scary. Oh, I didn't say why her oxygen and everything was down. The umbilical cord was wrapped around her twice, which is why she was having a little trouble breathing and living, you know.
Breathing and living.
Yeah.
I think that's really scary, like, because you see all these horror stories, right? I feel like before you go into labor, you're like, okay, I'm going to have this nice labor, whatever. You have this, like, made up in your head. Mm-hmm. And then you start hearing, like, oh, they pooped inside me, and it's caused for an infection, and then emergency C-section, and then this, and then the balloon, and then everything they do where they try to, like, make you dilate or whatever. And then you start getting scared, because it's like, sometimes you just think it's going to be peaceful, and it just throws you for a curve.
Exactly.
And that was so scary. I remember when I was getting updated, I'm like, what do you mean that she pooped, and then you're going into emergency C-section, and then, which it wasn't an emergency, but they wanted to do it fast enough. And then hearing that her umbilical cord was wrapped around twice, that is so terrifying.
I know. And to me, I'm like, oh, like when they told me that, I was like, oh, okay. But then later on, I've heard of, like, stories of, like, babies passing away because of that, and I'm like, if I didn't have the right team, like, my doctor was amazing. He is so good. Like, people love him there, like, at the doctor's office and in the ER. Like, they know him well, and they love him there because he's such a good doctor. And thank God for him, because if it was, I don't know, it could have been anyone else. It could have been a different story, just like with anyone, you know?
Exactly. Like, he could have been like, oh, well, it's fine, whatever. But he was very, like, on top of it. So that's amazing. Yeah. I feel like doctors are such a huge part of your labor and delivery as well. And your nurses, of course. Because I feel like with Franco, it was so easy. I literally went in at 6:30. He was born at 8:30. Came home, butterflies and rainbows. Like, his labor delivery experience, his pregnancy, everything was perfectly fine. I don't remember anything crazy. I feel like the pushing is always scary, because you're literally, like, pushing up, like, a baby out of your vagina.
Por si no sabían.
Yeah, and I feel like the only thing scary that happened with me with Franco was just that I popped my blood vessels in my eyes because I was pushing with my face. They're like, okay, honey, you need to put all of that effort into your butt. Just like, you need to push, like if you're gonna poop. And I was so terrified, and I'm pretty sure I did poop with Franco.
Really?
Yeah, but the nurses and the doctors are so nice because they don't even tell you.
Yeah.
But I feel like you feel it. And they're like, literally, like, I just felt them go like, y se fueron corriendo, like, you know, they just took the little pad off. And they were like, oh, you poop. Like, and I was like, oh, I know I fucking pooped, girl. And then I asked Jonathan. He's like, yeah, you did. I'm like, well, that's how close we are now. But yeah, it was so easy, nice, a really smooth experience, I would say. With Belen, I thought it was going to be the same. But I feel like her pregnancy was already harder just because I had a toddler. I couldn't just rot in bed. I had to actually be an active mom. And it was just a lot more tiring, I would say. And by the month 6, I was like, girl, please, like, I hope you're an early baby. You're born at 35 weeks when you're full. Is it 35 or 37?
37.
When you're full term, like 37, please, on the dot. Y también ella, I think she went straight to 40 weeks. She was born a day after her due date. No, a day before her due date. Yeah.
Yeah, because Franco was born a day after.
Yeah. And then Belen, you remember that? Belen was born a day before. And it was nice. Like, I felt my water broke, which I didn't with Franco. I had to break my water with Franco. Like, they're like, okay, do you feel my fingers? I'm like, yeah. She's like, push right there. And I literally like did a push, and it just exploded. Isn't that crazy?
Gosh.
I'm like, next time I'll just put it in myself, girl. Just kidding. But with Belen, it was like 6 a.m, and I kind of just felt like, you know, when a rubber band snaps, that's what I felt. And then I felt the gush.
That is so different that we had the same thing and different experiences.
Exactly. How did it feel when yours broke?
Dripping. Like, I didn't feel like that. I just felt little drips up until I went to the ER or whatever, labor and delivery, and then I like laid down, opened my legs, and then it was like, but I don't remember how it felt. I think it just felt like water coming out of me. I didn't feel a sensation, I guess.
Yeah, maybe I feel like because I was asleep, so I kind of felt like it woke me up. Like, I just felt, I was like, oh shit. And as soon as I stood up, it just went like all over the floor. And that was really, like, that was so cool. I remember being so excited. I was like, oh my God, it's time. Like, I've been waiting for this my whole life.
It's time.
Literally. And it was like, I think it was like 6:30 when that happened. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get ready. I did my little get ready with me to go give birth. I think it was like 8, and we dropped Franco off at my suegro's, and we left to the hospital. And I was like, okay, if I'm timing things right, she's going to be born in 2 hours. Like, Franco was born in 2 hours, just like a couple pushes, and he was here. I was like, perfect. I'm chilling, whatever. We get there, and I think I was like 3 centimeters dilated, and they're like, okay, we'll just check, whatever. She's like, you should have breakfast. So I remember, like, we had a bagel, we're just chilling, and I would stop and feel the contractions and go again. And the only sad thing about this was that I think Dr. Finnegan, Franco's doctor that birthed him, right? ¿Cómo se llama?
Delivered him.
Yeah, not birthed him. I birthed him. That delivered him. He was amazing. I love Dr. Finnegan. He was so nice. He told me that he birthed half of Lagma.
Oh my god!
And I think he just retired. With Belen's pregnancy, me tocó él at the beginning. Then he's like, I'm gonna be only doing weekdays, and I don't think I'm doing like births anymore. I'm just kind of seeing them routinely. And I was so sad. So I had a different doctor. I hadn't met her before at all. And this girl was having a bad day. Like, you can just tell when someone's having a bad day. All my nurses were nice. They were all sweet from the beginning. And as soon as I met her, I feel like she was just kind of like irritated. And you could feel that vibe right away. So I was like, okay, I'm a little bit nervous. So I just kept dilating pretty slowly, but they stopped checking me because they don't want to risk infection since your water broke already. So they don't want to be like, keep going in there. So they just had a little heart rate monitor on my belly just to make sure that her heart rate was still okay. And yeah, like when the contraction started getting a little bit harder, they checked me. They're like, okay, you're at 7 centimeters. I'm like, okay, here we go again. And then I remember they checked me and they're like, okay, you're at 9. So that was probably like at 1 p.m. I was at 9. So I was like, oh, de aquí soy. Like, in the next 10 minutes, she's going to be here. I'm going to dilate. And yeah, like the contractions were like, imagine contractions at 9 centimeters. That is insanity.
Yeah.
I could not even breathe through them anymore. I couldn't talk through them. I was already crying. And she comes in and I'm like, I'm ready to push, like, please. And she's like, okay, let me check you again. 9.5. I'm like, no, please. She's like, I can't, because if I make you push right now, it's gonna damage your cervix. I'm like, please. I'm like,
You're like, I don't care.
Just massage her or something. Break it for me. So she's like, I can't. I'm so sorry. She's like, you can try this position, that. But at this point, 9.5 centimeters dilated. I'm an exorcist on that bed. Like, I just remember laying like this. And I was like, I'm not kidding. I'm not, like, my mom and Jonathan were terrified. They're like, what the fuck is going on with this girl? But that is probably the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. Like, it's like when you have to shit so bad, but it just doesn't come, like, it just didn't come out. Like, it just wouldn't dilate. And
oh my god.
yeah, it lasted probably like an hour.
Like
fighting
that?
those fucking, yeah. And at that point, even then, you can't get an epidural, girl.
No, you can't.
So yeah, they checked me again, and they're like, okay, like, you're finally at 10, let's start pushing. And when the doctor came in for me to start pushing, I felt her vibe right away. She was not in a good mood, and she was just kind of like irritated by me. And I'm like, girl, what the hell are you
just here giving birth?
I'm just existing. I just work here. She was so mean, and like, she just kept being snarky with me. And that really sucked. But at this time around, I was really good at pushing because ya sabía cómo. So when she came out, everything was fine and dandy, and I was so happy. But I started feeling a lot of pain down there, and I'm like, this doesn't feel right. And they're like, yeah, you teared a little bit. Like, we're gonna have to suture you up. We're gonna put lidocaine shot, whatever. Like, I already knew, because the same thing happened with Franco. I literally feel like this lady is going in there with her nails and like tugging at my fucking vagina. Like, it just felt like someone was, like, a cat was fighting with my cat.
Okay, maybe
it's fighting. And it just felt like it was really painful, to the point that this doctor was like, just put fentanyl in her. Like, if the pain is that bad, just put fentanyl. I'm like, I was like, what are you saying? And I was like, it hurts a lot. I was like, maybe you could just be a little bit more gentle. She's like, I'm just stitching you up.
Just stitching you up. Yeah.
BITCH. I'm not kidding. Like, she was so mean. So I remember, like, the fentanyl going in me, and nothing was, like, it was just how, like, aggressive she was being with me down there. It wasn't even like, oh, it's just really painful, like, stinging. No, it was like, I could feel her being aggressive with, like, her sewing me up. And I feel like I was crying at that point, not because I was happy, not because I was sad, but I was angry.
Yeah.
I'm like, you just stole this from me. Like, I'm holding my baby, but all I can think about is what you're doing down there with me. And yeah, I was super mad at her. And I think that was pretty much it. Like, it sucked. I literally had fentanyl in my body, and I was nursing this. Like, the math ain't mathin'. But it was like a low dosage. I don't even remember, honestly, at this point.
Yeah.
But
I think they give, like, when they do give fentanyl, it's like a very tiny dosage anyway. But still, I'm like, you went not doing the epidural because you wanted to be like
a wholesome moment.
Yes, like clean girl vibes. I'm just kidding. But like, y luego van y te ponen fentanyl for that, you know?
I'm like, I didn't want any meds. And you're telling me that when you're sewing me up, dude, you're putting fentanyl in me? That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that was my worst experience. It was just like, it was so sad. And
yeah.
I was really resentful for that whole first year of my postpartum life. I was just really mad. I was like, everyone kept telling me, just go and report her. Like, that's not, like, even if she was having a bad day, whatever. But I remember telling one of the nurses, it feels so distant now, 2 years ago. But I remember I complained to one of the nurses, and I think that the doctor apologized to Jonathan when I was asleep. Like, she came and she was like, I was just like having a bad whatever. I'm like, girl, you don't get to ruin someone else's experience just because you're having a bad day, you know?
Yeah.
Which I get it. Like, a lot of us can go through a lot of shit, but that doesn't give you the green light to be a bad person or a shitty person, you know? Especially when you're a doctor, and like, that is, like, you're not giving birth every other day, you know? She's probably delivering 3 babies a day. Okay, I get that, but it's like such a good big experience for someone. She ruined mine or whatever.
Yeah. And the fact that she apologized after, like, she knew, like, she felt bad, she felt remorseful, because she's like, oh no, like,
a lot of people were like, I don't know if she felt bad or if she didn't want you to, like, report her or for it to get big, you know?
Yeah. But either way, even if she didn't want you to report her, it's because she knew, like,
exactly.
oh, damn,
She
I shouldn't have
fucked
acted
up.
like that. Oh.
But yeah.
I'm sorry,
that
that's
was
horrible.
Yeah, that was terrible. But that was a really hard delivery, and I'm like, I don't think I want to do this ever again.
Ya acabé.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm throwing in the towel. Now we're gonna go in and read your guys' crazy experiences.
These are all going to be so unique.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think we should start with the question box since that one's like short and sweet.
Yes.
Oh, dang. Okay. Are you gonna start at the top or at the bottom?
I usually start at the bottom.
Okay.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Hold on. My water broke Monday at 6 a.m., went to labor and delivery, and didn't give birth until Wednesday via C-section at 8 p.m.
Oh, heck. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 full days.
Full days.
In labor.
And all for a C-section at the end.
Oh, my gosh.
I hear this a lot, unfortunately. Like, you try so hard. I'm like, oh, like, that sucks. Like, that really sucks after, like, days of trying to give birth and then... But at least, you know, you get relief at the end.
Yeah, and at least you know that you tried your best too.
Exactly.
Sometimes, like, it's literally out of our control. Like, our bodies are just doing what bodies do and doing whatever they want. This one says, my water broke 2 hours before my scheduled C-section. Never in my life had my water broken. That's amazing. So, I'm guessing you had a vaginal
birth.
I always say it like that. Oh my god, sorry. I'm just a Spanish speaking girly.
I'm just bilingual. The IV for the Pitocin wasn't put in right, so I woke up with a swollen arm.
Oh my! And I also heard Pitocin. Pitocin is what they induce you with, right? And that's what makes it like painful.
Yes,
oh, no,
that's what I was scared of because I had heard like Pitocin is what makes your contractions hurt like 100 times worse.
Oh my gosh.
I had a flat. My water broke in the car, and baby was almost out. 2 minutes at the hospital. She was 2 minutes in the hospital and delivered.
Oh my gosh, that is so stressful.
That is so much happening. That is so much. God bless you, baby.
Girl, my placenta ripped because of an intern student.
Oh my god, ripped? And then what happens?
I don't know what does happen. I think that probably it's like an emergency C-section. No.
When I was in labor, my daughter bruised my pelvic bone when I was pushing.
Ouch.
Does it hurt to walk after that?
And probably.
I mean, everything hurts after that.
10-pound baby. Baby had shoulder dystocia. 4th degree tear.
Oh my god.
I'm so sorry, baby. And you know what's crazy? Like, you go through all of this for your kids, and then like a year later, you're like, do I want another one?
Not me. Not me. I feel like you had been telling me, because Blanca always told me, when they're about 1, you get over, like, you forget your labor, and then you start thinking about another one. And I'm like, that still hasn't happened to me. I'm like,
she's 3. Yeah.
I'm almost 2.5, and I'm still like,
yeah, that's true.
I don't know. But some people right away, even without the year, some people right away are like, se me antoja otro.
Exactly.
My suegra was pissed and jealous that I had all the attention.
Oh my gosh.
How far back can I roll my eyes?
Literally. Pushing for 3.5 hours. 4th degree tear. Vacuum assisted delivery.
Oh, I know.
Oh my goodness gracious.
That's so scary.
An emergency C-section. Had to get blood bags in me. Getting one was my biggest fear.
No.
Oh my gosh.
That's the same one I was looking at.
Oh, good.
We're on the same wavelength. That's so scary.
That's so, I feel like, I don't even know. Like, the possibilities during labor are so, like, when you're in labor, you're already like, okay, ya estoy aquí, ya va a pasar. But you don't even know the complications that can come with it.
Exactly. What is that?
What is it? Let me see.
I can't.
I'm scared.
But I don't know who sent that or what story it goes with.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, insert picture here.
Perhaps blur it a little bit.
I'm just kidding.
Okay. Labor for 24 hours with failed epidural and had to get a C-section because I got preeclampsia. I gave birth to a 10-pound baby and it bled out during the C-section. Had to get 2 blood transfusions.
Gosh.
That is so terrifying and traumatizing. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry.
You're a warrior.
Water broke, Pitocin, epidural. Finally, 20 hours later, baby was born. Suffered shoulder dystocia, was stuck for 1 minute.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness gracious.
And like a minute doesn't sound like a lot, but I cannot imagine that a whole minute in labor.
Yeah.
Every minute counts.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm going to read this one.
I'm like reading it. I'm like, I haven't said anything. Okay. I'm just going to go to our message requests because I feel like they're being broken up. But go ahead.
Know. Well, I don't know where this one starts, so hopefully this is the beginning. Okay, this one says, I was itchy all over my body for about a month. The doctor said it was just me stretching. Come to find out, TikTok helped me diagnose myself. She had cholestasis?
Perhaps?
Cholestasis? CHOLEOSTASIS?
Cholestasis?
Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
I know, I'm so sorry.
You know, I took a medical terminology class and I was really good, pero se me olvidó todo.
Ya te iba a preguntar. I had to have the baby the same day and she went to the ER because TikTok told me so. 6 weeks postpartum, I had gallstones because of the cholestasis, something I've never heard about, but it's so common during pregnancy.
Oh my god.
That pain is already really scary.
And I think that's also another scary thing is that you can be telling your doctor every single appointment like, hey, I feel itchy, or hey, this doesn't feel right, and they're like, it's fine, it's normal, because I feel like when you're pregnant they're always like, oh, that's normal, and sometimes it can lead to things like this.
Yeah.
My gosh. 17-year-old mom was induced because of preeclampsia, didn't get an epidural until 8 centimeters, 24 hours of labor later. 6 hours later, gave birth and I couldn't handle the pain anymore. Gave birth in 3 pushes, no tears, but started hemorrhaging inside, so the doctor had to scoop out the clots manually. Forgot to mention the epidural didn't even work. At 8 centimeters, yeah, that's crazy. 2 hours after birth, they were still scooping out clots manually with their hand up to elbow inside of me. Complete nightmare, but my baby is healthy. Thank God. And I am so sorry. That is so terrifying.
And you know what's crazy? Like in labor, I feel like they do anything and everything. Like they just kind of like try everything. Like if this was a different surgery, imagine like getting I don't know, an arm surgery or something, and they're scooping manually blood clots. Like that it just all sounds so crazy. Like it feels like, you know how they say all is fair in love and war? I'm like, all is fair in love and war and labor and delivery, because they just kind of do everything and anything.
Absolutely.
And I know at that point it's different because it's, you know, the baby's life and the mom's life, and they're just trying to like have you two survive. It just feels like it's like what's it called, like at your dispense, kind of like they just will do anything.
I know,
but they're just trying to save your life. I don't know. It's hard.
They're strong too. That's crazy. Okay, I did say that. I did ask in our post if you guys wanted us to say your names, because I want to give you your flowers, girl, because that's crazy. Like you going through all of this and then not getting the recognition.
I know.
Come on, baby. So some of you guys, I did tell you to say it specifically in the message. So this one says, Monica, I had a C-section with my twin girls. They were both head down, and when they took out the first one, the other one flipped. So they had to take her out from her legs, and I have pictures of them pulling her from my stomach, feet first. Oh my God, Monica.
Is it Monica that you know?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Gosh. Monica with the twin girls.
Oh, they're so cute.
I know. That's so insane.
Having a picture of that is crazy too.
That's amazing for her daughter. Yeah. It's like, girl, look, y'all were doing good, and then you decided to do a little backflip in there.
I know. Make a slideshow and put that in their quinceañera video.
Exactly.
Aww. Okay, this one says, hey girlies, my labor story might not be the crazy one might not be crazy, but to me it felt crazy. I barely made it to the hospital when my baby girl came. Actually, her birthday is very close to Belen's. Her birthday is March 13th, 2024. Oh,
I love that.
Anyway,
literally Belen, Celine, and then her.
Yeah. Oh, cute. Anyway, since I already had my son, I tried to hold off as long as I could before going to the hospital. But eventually I decided I should go to be sure, but I really thought they were just going to send me home. She doesn't know why. Girl, by the time I got to the hospital, within minutes of checking in, my water broke. Everyone thought my doctor wasn't going to make it, but luckily she came just in time for delivery. 3 pushes and she was out.
Oh my
This was all within 30 minutes of getting to the hospital. Yeah, that's quick.
That's a dream labor. I was literally.
My God, queen. Happy for you, baby.
Sorry, we just go quiet.
I know, we're just
Okay.
looking for a good one.
Jackie had my first baby via emergency C-section because she was a breech and my water broke at 38 weeks. Everything was fine postpartum, but a month exactly later, I got a really bad pain. I thought it had to do with my C-section, but it was my gallbladder and I had to get it removed. I had enough milk stored, but I was in the hospital for 3 days without eating and not being able to see my newborn.
Oh
I'm
my
so
gosh.
sorry. Didn't Ali Kutch go through something like that? Where she had to be readmitted and Isaac had to stay home with the baby girl, the newborn?
Yeah. And she was also
She was
exclusively
hospitalized,
yes. And she had to be on antibiotics. So all that milk literally went to waste.
That is so
Poor-
freaking sad.
That sucks.
I'm so sorry.
No.
Are you in our DMs?
I'm in mine.
Okay.
Yeah, because I
Period,
knew you were
queen.
going to be in that
Okay.
one. Okay. I was 42 weeks pregnant with my very first baby, and my OBGYN left on vacation, so I called the clinic and asked when I was supposed to have my baby because I hadn't felt him move for a few hours. Oh, shit. I went into the clinic, and they did a stress test on the baby, and I failed 3 times. Question, do you know what a stress test is?
Mm-mm.
Okay, me either. They sent me to the ER where they provided me with gifts and pizza. Super weird because the energy fell off. They started to induce me 4 hours later, ordered an ultrasound because my baby's heart rate kept dropping drastically. They wouldn't tell me anything aside from I needed to go into emergency C-section. The surgery was very fast, and when they pulled my baby out, he had the umbilical cord wrapped around his neck twice. You see? And he had a literal knot in his umbilical cord where he was no longer getting food and oxygen.
Oh my gosh.
He was literally a miracle. It traumatized me so bad. I didn't have my second kid until he was 7.
Oh.
Do you see what I mean about the doctors? Like they
Exactly.
kind of just were like, oh, with her, like, here's pizza, here's whatever. And then they were like, wait, this is
my
getting scary.
gosh.
Thank God your baby's okay. And hell
Thank
yeah,
God.
that's traumatizing. That's why people don't have kids right away.
Absolutely. That's why people are one and done.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad your baby's okay.
Me too.
That's from Kenny. Kenny Annette. You're a warrior girl.
Yeah, shout out to you, queen. Jessica says, I said my birth story. Oh, but it broke up. Okay. I labored quickly. Luckily, I had a 3rd degree. Okay. The matcha is getting to me. Sorry. I labored quickly. Luckily, I read it wrong again. Sorry. Am I drunk? What? Okay. Again, sorry, it's because there's no commas, but I need to put a comma to make it make sense in my brain. Okay, sorry. Sorry, Jessica. I'm so sorry. I labored quickly. No. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. This is so embarrassing. Okay. Okay, this is the one. This is the one. La tercera es la vencida. I labored quickly, luckily, but I had a 3rd degree tear that the doctor could not stitch up because every time she would try to tighten the stitch, it would rip through my tissue. Oh my goodness. She tried for an hour and I did not have an epidural, so I felt every single stitch as she was going deeper and deeper into my tissue to try to grasp my skin. I was so sore for about 2 weeks after that. Oh my God. And I can still feel my scar literally all the way up to my butthole. It's the worst, by the way. My name is Jessica.
Jessica, girl.
Jessica. I'm so sorry.
Oh my gosh. Like ripping through your tissue is crazy.
And the fact that she just kept going and going and going.
And they didn't give her fentanyl.
No fentanyl. And they do inject you with lidocaine, but come on, girl. Like if you are constantly tugging at it, like you're still gonna feel it, especially if they're trying to get deep enough to get into your skin. I'm so sorry, girl.
I'm sorry.
That is so hard.
I had my baby during COVID, December 2020. I actually had COVID when I went into labor and was so scared. I was even put in a special negative pressure room. Negative pressure? Do you know what that is?
No.
Oh my gosh. The doctors and nurses had to all suit up before coming into my room. At one point, the nurse came in running no suit, nothing, because they lost the baby on the monitors. I was so scared because she was yelling at everyone for help. It was crazy. So many people rushed in. Baby ended up being okay, but it was definitely scary. The nurse even apologized for not suiting up, but she said she had no time and had to get to me as fast as possible. Baby boy is now 5 years old. Oh, that is scary to see, like everyone suited up, and then if you see someone just rushing in, like your heart drops.
Exactly. This is what I mean by your environment obviously changes your experience. Like for me, it was a doctor. For you, it was just like the experience of you not even thinking you could have a C-section, but then being like, hey, we're going into a fast C-section. It's not an emergency, but we have to do it quick. And it's like everything changes just with one little tweak in it, you know? Like you'd be having a peaceful experience and then a bunch of people just start showing up and you're like, all right, something's wrong. Because why are you suited up like that, you know? Oh my gosh. I worked full-time with a 2-hour commute while pregnant. Around 30 weeks, I developed high blood pressure and my baby's heart was also a concern. So I was sent to a high-risk care. At 34 weeks, I was admitted for possible preeclampsia and kept going back and forth to the hospital multiple times. I had to quit my job. I was the only one left in my department and was put on bed rest until my induction at 37 weeks. Labor lasted 40 hours with complications including power outages and no AC, and I only reached 4 centimeters before an emergency C-section. My daughter was born healthy, but my incision opened afterward and stayed open for 6 weeks, which broke me mentally and physically. I feel like I was robbed of my natural birth experience, and I still think about it to this day. My son was also born via C-section because I was still carrying that trauma, but his birth was much more stable.
Oh my gosh.
She said I needed to add that with my son. I ended up switching doctors to my local one and never went back, even after they called me multiple times saying I couldn't return if I changed providers.
Ni modo.
Oh my gosh. I feel like everybody throws like preeclampsia around and you don't really know what it is, but it's terrifying. Like it could be a life or death situation, literally.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm speechless. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're okay and baby's okay.
I know,
like, what the heck?
And can you imagine the trauma? Like, that is so traumatic.
Exactly.
I'm so sorry.
And then at that point, it's like, I feel like for a lot of people, like, this is the way I saw it. I always thought like, oh, I'm going to have a natural delivery. And then the quote unquote safe way out would be the C-section. Like if anything goes wrong, but I feel like there's no like, quote unquote safe way. It's just you just try your best and
it's just experience. Like that is something you can't control, whether you want to go vaginally or C-section route, whatever route, they all have complications. And you're always at risk. Like giving birth is it's looked at like such a beautiful experience, but it can also be such a scary, terrifying one, you know?
I think what's beautiful is like right after your baby comes out and you're holding them, that's beautiful, but everything else that happens is insane. Like it is insanity.
One more.
I think this one's a positive one. Do you want to end with a positive one? Okay. April 17th, celebrated my husband's birthday. April 18th at 1:30 a.m., I felt a pop. I get up and my water broke. I got in the shower, headed to the hospital at 2:30 a.m. They were going to send me home, but I was 3 centimeters dilated. 7 a.m., I was still 3 centimeters dilated. Doctor wanted to like give her Pitocin, and I refused. I don't know how from 7 to 11, I dilated to 9 centimeters. Oh my God. My mom lives 3 hours away. She headed my way at 7 a.m. I was so scared she wasn't going to be there when I gave birth. My husband pressing me. Here we go again. My husband was pressing on my back every contraction. Oh yeah, like rubbing her back. Mom called several times and I kept saying I was going to get the epidural. She said I'm strong and I can do it. My parents got there exactly 11:15 and my baby was born at 11:33 a.m. God was always on my side. Till this day, it has been my favorite memory. Gave my husband the greatest birthday gift, and my mom just made it just in time for the birth. Oh,
that is so amazing. I can't imagine how stressful it is to be laying there being like, my mom is 3 hours away. Is she gonna make it on time?
Yeah,
I love that.
Congratulations.
Yes, we wanted to end it on a positive note because we're already an hour and 9 minutes in, girl, and we probably talked your ear off, guys. We're so sorry. If you guys want us to do a part 2, there are so many DMs. We could absolutely do a part 2.
Yeah.
So please let us know. But I don't know, like, honestly, pat yourself on the back if you're a mom. However you gave
way.
Yeah, however you gave birth, it's traumatizing. Even if it's like a nice experience, like even like Franco's was such a nice experience, but pushing him out was traumatizing. Yeah. Like,
I think the whole experience is traumatizing. I think you can have a positive experience and it can still be crazy. Yeah,
because
hard,
people will have a good experience and still not want a second child because they're like, I could not do that shit again.
Me. It's me.
Like, it's me. I'm people.
I'm people.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to this. Ya me salió lo bilingüe. To this week's episode.
All right. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Yay Media Group.